Presidential Campaign Council of the Labour, Mr. Doyin Okukpe, is at the Federal High Court, Abuja, for the verdict of a suit instituted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The commission is accusing him of receiving funds amounting to over 700 million naira from the former National Security Advisor, retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki. He is accused of collecting the money when he served as a senior special assistant on media to former President Goodluck Jonathan. His wife Omolara and son Adesukomi took turns pleading with the court to temper justice with mercy. Also, a former governor of Anambra State, Chief Chukwuemeka Ezeife, urged the court to take cognizance of the fact that the defendant was a first-time offender. In her judgment, Justice Ojuku further held that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission successfully established its case against the defendant. The court added that it had also observed the defendant's demeanor while his trial lasted, as well as the fact that he had no previous record of conviction. While he was acquitted of counts 1 to 33, the court found him guilty on counts 34 to 59. He was subsequently handed 2 years on each of the 26 charges, though the court rules that the sentence will run concurrently for 2 years. The court refused to make an order for him to be kept in prison custody, as the sentence has the option of a fine. However, he was given until 4 o'clock on Monday evening to pay the fine. The Director General...
Please face the camera.
Well, the judgment is very fair. We thank God. Dr. Doyin Okukpe is just a victim of a honest mistake and a victim of circumstance. He was found not guilty of count 1 to 37, which borders on money laundering, fraud, corruption, and misappropriation of the monies he took from the office of NSA. But he had issues when it comes to count 38 to 59, which provides that he was guilty of an offense for collecting money in excess of 5 million, which is the permissible threshold under the Money Laundering Act. And the court has graciously listened to allocutors from him, and based on the evidence of his good character given by impeccable Nigerians of the caliber of Dr. Ezeife, former governor of Anambra State, and Dr. Muhammad Idi Farouk, and his wife and one of his sons, the court became persuaded that he deserves to be, given mercy. And that is why the court has sentenced him to 2.5 years in each of the count charge. And the court said the sentence should run concurrently, and in the alternative that he should pay 500,000 naira each in each of the count for 26 count charge in which he was found guilty of collecting money in excess of 5 million. And the court has said that he has up to 4:30 this afternoon to sort out himself by way of paying the fine if he can. But if he cannot pay it, then he will now be taken to Kuje prison. I've told the EFCC officials they should not harass him. He's already a convict, but they should give him opportunity to sort out himself, just like the court has said. So that is where we are. Thank you.
So if he was convicted under the Money Laundering Act for counts 34 to 59 on the ground that he was collecting money. He would go to the former NSA's office and collect money, 10 million naira, 10 million naira, 10 million naira, for nothing. And that was in excess of the amount provided by the Money Laundering Prohibition Act. This is how we do things in this country. Corruption, what is different? He was convicted under the money.
Well, fellow Nigerians, greetings to you all. This is a Comrade Show, and my name is Comrade Lanti Monsari Oriahi. Please, if you are there, I want to appeal to you very strongly. Share this broadcast is very important because I have been, monitoring activities since morning. There's been so much talk about this issue. Some of us woke up yesterday morning to the news that what's his name, Doyin Okukpe, the DG of the Labour Party, has been convicted, on different grounds of corruption, particularly money laundering and stuff like that. And of course, I try to dig deep, and like, of course, some of you have heard right now from, the counsels that spoke from Channels Television News, of course, their updates on the matter. Of course, credit to Channels TV for that reportage. And what we found out is that, initially I was thinking, maybe it was something about 5 million, as the case may be. There's no small money in corruption anyway. But we're talking of amounts, to the tune of about 700 million. And of course, the other lawyer did say that it was, like they say, it was in excess of 5 million. That Doyin Okukpe, as accused, was always going to the NSA, National Security Advisor. Another question I asked myself was all of this happened during the Jonathan administration? And the other question that followed was that what was Doyin Okukpe at the time this was happening? Doyin Okukpe was a senior special assistant or advisor, as the case may be, to Mr. President, going to the National Security advisor to be collecting monies like this and all of that. And what nobody has told the Nigerian public is what the 700 million naira, was used for. Who authorized this and all of that. All of this. I see so many things all around this. But that is not the issue, really. The issue is that the person whose character is being questioned right now is the DG of the Labour Party. He is the carrier of the obedient movement, more or less. And that is the person whose character right now is in question. Honestly, I try to look back. Just his own state in the western part of Nigeria, in recent time, came up with reports to equally, signaling this issue of corruption and every other thing. I'm not passing judgment. It is what is already out there. You understand what I'm saying now? And so, looking at the chronicles of events, ringing bells of corruption around Doyin Okukpe and stuff like that, and of course culminating in this judgment. This one is a court judgment, and I am trying to juxtapose that against sentiments being expressed that is being witch hunted. It's been this, it's been that, it's been that. I honestly think that, look, let's call a spade and not just a walking implement. The issue here is that there is no denier that Doyin Okukpe did not collect 700 million naira. This is just one part of the story. There is no denier. Even his lawyer said that, he's been convicted, people should leave him alone. I think these are issues that questions, the support base of the obedient movement. We are all working hard, including Doyin Okukpe, as we believe, to enthrone a new Nigeria, a Nigeria that will be bettered on some level of credibility, some level of transparency. And the story of Doyin Okukpe right now, as it is coming to the fore, is a similar story, numerous stories as this, in their thousands or even their millions, that have crippled this country. SSA to Mr. President. This is one story. We don't know how many other stories are out there. What did the ministers under that administration, previous administration, or even current administrations, what did they do if an SSA can actually have such access to things like this? These are issues. And the question, to say that we should pretend. I support Peter Gregory Obi. To be very honest, my support for him is without any form of sentiment. I really want a new Nigeria to be enthroned. But that Nigeria must be enthroned on the basis of equity, on the basis of credibility, on the basis of trust. Now, if we say credibility, if we say trust right now, given the situation, can we really call Doyin Okukpe, given the multitude of issues that have been happening right now around the corridors of corruption, with his name being mentioned and all of that, I think it was Ogun State the last time, even to his own, publicity secretary, all of them I won't say gang up, raising allegations of corruption against Doyin Okukpe. And now the court is coming up with this. This has happened long time ago. Look, my people, in my own take, I think that Doyin Okukpe should face the requirements of the law, should face his case as far as the law is concerned. And I equally think that with all due respect, without pretense, that Doyin Okukpe should do the needful and resign as a DG. Because at the end of the day, it is not just about Doyin Okukpe, it's about the multi-million Nigerians out there who believe very much in the sanctity and the credibility, of the personality of Peter Obi and of course his campaign, who believe very much that Obi will be the man, that will lead the way to clean this Nigeria. And I think that with Doyin Okukpe's matter going to court and there's a verdict, I think that what is right should be done, and that is that Doyin Okukpe should face the law. Should step down or be removed as DG. And if they are able to do that, what this does is that it will send a direct signal to everybody, including myself, that we are not making a mistake to pitch them with our Gregory Obi. This is my candid, very, very candid, opinion. So for all those who are like, oh, he's being witch-hunted, he's doing this, he's being done this, oh, they're trying to bring down Obi campaign. Look, this has got nothing to do with Obi campaign. Obi was not contesting as president when these matters were happening. As unless when Doyin Okukpe was going to collect 10 million, which nobody has given us a report of what these monies were, were used for, and even as at now. Obi was not yet campaigning. Obi was not yet a presidential candidate. So this is a matter of the past that is coming to the fore. And I think that this gives room for so many matters as this to come to the fore, so that people should pay for the errors of their past. And that will lead the people of today to work hard to ensure that they have an impeccable today that will not haunt them tomorrow. If that is not done, we pretend and gloss it over. This may not be good for the obedience campaign. It's a red flag, it's a bad signal. Is highly odoriferous, and it is not right to stand. This is my humble take. And for those that have argued that, it's witch hunting, look, if witch hunting can bring out what we did not know, and it is true, there is a positive witch hunting. In any case, who is not being witch hunted? Everybody is being witch hunted. But again, the Benin man says, if there is no hole in a wood, an ant cannot go into that wood. If people have, be very much impeccable, they have lived as righteously as possible, no amount of witch hunting will bring them down. But if there are loopholes and witch hunting comes, then we have a right, to see how the witch hunting benefit Nigerian people to forestall a better Nigeria. And I mean, if this is witch hunting, but the case in question, is true that Nigerians did not know in the past. It's a breach of public trust. It's a breach, of the laws of Nigeria. Then so be it. So be it. Whoever the law has caught up with should face the wrath of the law, and of course, stay away from this public responsibility that the whole world of the Nigerian people, particularly the obedience support base, they are looking at as an example, as part of the example we want to enthrone, that will direct us into the path of a new Nigeria. I've spoken with a number of Labour Party members today, particularly across Edo State, and I've equally added my opinion to them without sentiment. I wasn't Doyin Okukpe, but the future of Nigeria is a more serious matter than any individual's past mistake. So this is my take. And on the very last note, I just want to chip this one in. Many of us are not impressed, to be very honest, with the way. Maybe I'm going to have a broadcast on this one subsequently, but some things going on with the Labour Party across different states and all of that. It's so shameful, to be very honest. But the good thing about it is that we are able to separate Labour Party from the obedient. Many of us are obedient. We are not members of Labour Party, and we are glad that Labour Party is not the envelope that is enveloping everybody. People are just obedient. And on the account of this, I want to appeal to all obedience. Doyin Okukpe is not the man running for president. The man running for president is Peter Gregory Obi, and that is the man we are supporting. And that is the man we are hoping his inner caucus, inner cabinet, if Okukpe does not resign within the next 24 to 48 hours on the account of this particular matter, the inner cabinet and caucus of Peter Obi should study this matter and do what is right. For me, this is my humble take on this particular issue, because the Nigeria we are all dreaming of is bigger than any individual. Now, so we see the matter, Rachel. He who must come to equity must come with clean hands. God will bless you. Please share the broadcast. It's been a commercial show.